September 13th, 2008, the day Hurricane Ike made landfall.
God, please.
The storm slammed into Galveston as a Category 2 hurricane. The damage and the despair was widespread.
Monstrous Hurricane Ike slams water into Crystal Beach, Texas.
If it rises.
Half of the storm, like I was saying, the second half of the storm, the winds were stronger, you know, and everything. The house started shaking then. I didn't notice the house shaking until the second half of the storm, which was really bad. And that's when the door flew open. That's the main door to the rooms up there. And so when that door flew, and it was a big, huge door, and it was about that thick, the door was, and the wind blew it open. Just whoosh. So when the wind blew it open, I lost my windows, everything throughout, because I had furniture down the hallway too that I couldn't fit in the room, you know, aquariums and nightstands and stuff. And all that stuff, you could just see it going down the hallway, just whoosh, flying down the hallway. And so I took a slack, like a piece of wood, a bed slack or something, and I put it right up under the knob of the door, thinking that it was gonna, you know, stop it from, because I pushed it, I had to, with all my might, I had to push it closed, grab the slack, and put it like right up underneath the door. And so I let it go, and you could just see it was just slowly just blowing open. So I had to put all my weight against it. And I was so tired of standing I stood like this for like 15, 20 minutes, scared. Now my partner, he fell asleep. I don't see how in the heck he slept through all that. You know, it's kind of like me in a vehicle traveling, I can't go to sleep. Same thing with Ike. So I'm standing there holding the door for like 15 minutes. It seemed like eternity. I'm holding the door, praying, and said, God, please, if you let me get through this, I would never stay. You know, I would leave, you know, no matter what it is. So I'm standing there, it seemed like eternity. So my arms got tired. So I dropped my hands and I turned around like this and I leaned against the door with my back. So the whole time that I'm leaning against the door, the wind's so strong, it's pushing me, just pushing me. And I don't remember how I end up, you know, walking away from it. But after I found a way of keeping the door shut, I went in my bedroom, which is right here. Went in the bedroom, and like I said, my partner was sleeping, and I sat on the side of the bed, and I was like, just like, what do we do? You know what I'm saying? How long is this gonna last? And I'm yelling, Charles, Charles. The guy that he lived up here, but he lived in the room further back. He had fallen asleep. So I was the only one up. I was like, just praying and praying. And so that's when from praying, I guess God kind of calmed me down, because I found myself laying against the window. That window had broken, like I said, it had broken, but it had broken during the first half of the storm. So then I already had cardboard up there with my headboard pushed against it. So what I did, because the wind was still blowing in that room, even when I was sitting on the bed, I could feel the wind blowing with the cardboard there. So what I did is when I laid completely in the bed, I sat with my back on the headboard to kind of break the wind too on the window, and I fell asleep. I fell asleep. I don't think I slept like an hour and a half.
Is unimaginable. And I say that for this reason. you look around this room and you see how the furniture is all set in places and probably been sitting in these places for years. In Ike, in my living room, when you open up the front door and looked into the living room, the sofa, love seat, chair, table, coffee table, rug was all on the north side of the room, as if somebody had just taken something and pushed it all at the same time.
Do you have pictures of that?
No, they're gone, I think. My wife and I went in and we were working our way around in the house downstairs, and everything was real slick, as if it was oil on the floor. And we went into the dining room, into the kitchen, because on my ground floor you can actually make a circle completely around. There's doors that you can go into, and it'll take you all the way around downstairs. And I went into the bathroom, and then I forced my way into the living room, and I'm picking up shoes that were on the floor that were sopped and oily looking. And I looked back for her, and she wasn't there. So I went back around and looked outside, and she was sitting on the steps. And I said, well, come on, Leilon. I said, we need to at least start getting some of this stuff out of here, start cleaning up some of this stuff. And all she said was, Leon, I can't do this. And I said, well, we got to do something. She said, Leon, I can't do this. And she repeated it again, and she was crying, you know. So at that point, I knew this was something she can't do. She can't deal with this. So we got back in the car and just went back to Houston. I can imagine how devastating it was to other people if it was that devastating to her. I'm an individual that believes in God, and, you know, let God's will be done. You know, who am I to question his work? And anything that
It was like a parade. It was like one huge big parade just going on, and then the end. You could just see it leaving. You could see it leaving. The birds start flying again. The sun came out. You know, the water had resided. The water was ground level. It had resided from 12, 13 feet. It was ground level then. And so my partner was still sleeping, and I nudged him. I said, hey, the storm's over with. The storm's over with. He jumped up, and I said, let's go walk around the island. See, you know, just look around. So we put some clothes on, some shoes and stuff, you know. And so we came down, and the water was just ground level. So we came down, and we took off walking. And when we came out the gate here, we got to the corner, we went straight up to Broadway. I wanted to see how Broadway looked, you know. And these houses over here across the street, they were probably built like